There's a store you've definitely walked into, even if you didn't mean to. You step through the door and a wave of perfume, discount vitamins, and a strange, sterile cleanliness hits you. The signs are shouting in bright yellow and aggressive red. Every aisle is a canyon of stacked boxes and overflowing shelves, deliberately designed to feel overstuffed, as if the deals are so good they can't even be contained. You only went in for headache tablets, but you're walking out with a tub of protein powder, 2-for-1 cologne, and a loyalty card you'll never use. It's loud, it's chaotic, and it's absolutely everywhere. But here's the strange part. This place, with its blaring radio ads and supermarket-style layout, is a Chemist, a pharmacy for our non-Australian friends. A place you're supposed to go for serious health advice. Yet, it feels less like a clinic and more like a retail tornado. How did this new breed of chemist explode across Australia to become the most dominant, loudest, and most unavoidable player in the game? How is it allowed to sell medicine next to cosmetics and protein powder by the kilo? The Chemist Warehouse story begins, as many do, with a family. The Gance brothers, Jack and Sam, bought their first chemist in the Melbourne suburb of Reservoir back in 1972. They were fresh out of university, and it was a standard local Amcol chemist. In 1980, another young pharmacist just out of university, Mario Verrocchi, became a trainee under Sam Gance. This trio would become the architects of a retail revolution. While they were building their pharmacy business, a key idea was already taking shape. During a visit to the United States back in the 1970s, co-founder Jack Gance had been stunned by the American pharmacies. He saw busy, in-your-face, warehouse-style operations that felt more like a chaotic supermarket than a traditional health clinic. The idea stuck with him. Throughout the 1980s, the group branched out, creating and distributing the sunglasses brand Le Specs and the suntan lotion Le Tan. They sold that business in 1991, but the experience was formative. It taught them about mass market branding, logistics, and high volume distribution, skills that were completely alien to the traditional pharmacist model. By the late 90s, these two threads finally converged. They had the warehouse concept from the US, and they now had the mass market business skills from Le Specs. The old, quiet pharmacy model no longer made sense to them. In 1997, the Gances and Verrocchi made their move. They left the Amcol chain to establish their own brand, My Chemist. This was their first step away from the traditional model, a test run for their new ideas. Then, in 2000, they launched the first Chemist Warehouse in Melbourne. The Chemist Warehouse model is built on a stack 'em high, sell 'em cheap philosophy that applies supermarket logistics to the world of healthcare. The founders ripped up the old pharmacy rulebook, which was based on prescriptions and personalized service, and wrote a new one based on volume and front of shop sales. Traditional pharmacy has been slowly losing the health and beauty business to other retailers, says Jack Gance, co-founder of Chemist Warehouse. Our model is quite different from a traditional pharmacy. When you go to our stores, you are just bombarded with products, and you have so much choice and variety. We've created a shopping environment with a lot more visual excitement and a lot more sales. We're a category killer, he continues. A staggering 70% of all Chemist Warehouse revenue comes from front of shop products like vitamins, supplements, fragrances, cosmetics, skincare, and protein powder. By contrast, prescription medicines only account for 30% of revenue. With the prescription counter almost always placed at the very back of the store, customers are forced to walk through a maze of other products. The average Chemist Warehouse store has a revenue 4 to 6 times higher than an average pharmacy. They also own many of their own brands, like Bondi Protein Co., Goat Soap, and the Wagner Supplement brand, ensuring they capture even more of the profit margin. This aggressive, high-volume model proved wildly successful, allowing them to expand at a breakneck pace. But there was one major roadblock: Australian law. In Australia, there are strict regulations designed to prevent the corporatization of healthcare. In many states, laws limit how many pharmacies a single person or entity can own or have a financial interest in. This was designed to ensure a pharmacist's primary duty is to their patient, not to a corporate board or shareholders. But in Chemist Warehouse's case, they exploited what experts describe as a legal loophole. Here's how it works. Chemist Warehouse isn't a normal franchise like McDonald's, where you just buy a license. Instead, the founders created a complex web of joint ventures and partnership agreements. They partnered with individual pharmacists, often friends and relatives, to set up each new store. On paper, the pharmacist owns the store, which satisfies the law. But in reality, that pharmacist is locked into a series of agreements that hand almost all control over to the central chemist warehouse entity. This head office controls the branding, the marketing, the IT systems, the stock, the bulk purchasing, and the store layout. The individual pharmacist owner benefits from the group's massive buying power, but has very little autonomy. This aggressive growth and high-pressure, high-volume model did not come without a human cost. The company's internal practices have repeatedly drawn the scrutiny of regulators. In 2016, the Fair Work Ombudsman audited Chemist Warehouse and found non-compliance with workplace laws, specifically related to the non-payment of staff for mandatory training time. The company was ordered to back pay almost 6,000 employees, a total of over $3.5 million. Following this, Chemist Warehouse entered into a 3-year compliance deed with the Ombudsman to clean up its act. This pressure cooker environment is also felt by the pharmacists themselves. While the traditional chemist has time for patient consultation, the Chemist Warehouse model is built for speed. Pharmacists are stretched thin, trying to fill a high volume of scripts, while also being expected to upsell the lucrative front-of-shop wellness products. This blurs the line between healthcare and retail, all while staff are being monitored for efficiency in a system designed for high turnover. In December 2023, the company announced a historic merger with Sigma Healthcare. Sigma is a publicly listed company on the Australian Stock Exchange and is a major pharmaceutical wholesaler and franchisor for brands like Amcal and discount drugstores. As a result of the acquisition, the Chemist Warehouse shareholders received two things: $700 million in cash and a colossal 85.75% ownership stake in the new merged company. This move instantly made the founders' net worth jump. The 3 original founders ended up with over $15 billion worth of shares after the merger. The deal also revealed the wealth of their partners, with 104 of their franchisees emerging with stakes valued at between $5 million and $25 million each. It was one of the largest paydays in Australian corporate history, all made possible by the family loophole they'd built 20 years earlier. The rise of Chemist Warehouse is a story of profound disruption. It's about a group of founders who looked at a protected, community-focused industry and saw a massive, untapped retail opportunity. They identified a legal loophole in Australia's pharmacy laws and drove a truck through it, building a $34 billion empire in the process. They successfully changed what we, as consumers, expect from a pharmacy. We've been trained to expect a bargain, not a consultation. We expect a supermarket, not a clinic. The company outsmarted the regulators, outmuscled its competitors, and outmaneuvered the stock market, and now it's setting its sights abroad, putting their category killer model to the ultimate test. But what do you think? Is this category killer model just brilliant business, or has it destroyed the personal care we used to get from a local pharmacy? And let's be honest, what's the craziest front of shop deal you've ever walked out of Chemist Warehouse with? We want to hear all about your biggest impulse buys in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next deep dive. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, stay curious.